We arrived in Todos Santos in the early evening. I'd never been here before and I wasn't really sure what to expect. But as we rolled through the desert and came to a stop in a town that seemed to materialize almost out of nowhere, I was suddenly a little bit worried that we'd picked the wrong place to spend an entire month. If you've never heard of Todos Santos before, it's an old fishing town turned boutique beach town in Baja California Sur. It's roughly halfway between La Paz and Cabo San Lucas on the west side of the peninsula, so the beaches face the Pacific Ocean. Originally named Misión Santa Rosa de Todos los Santos, the town was once the thriving capital of the sugarcane industry in this region of the country, and you can still visit the old port on a hike just south of town. Most of that industry dried up around the 60s, and it wasn't until the mid-80s when the government paved the Highway 19 through town that it began to make it on the map again. Now it's a haven for hikers, mountain bikers, surfers, and outdoor lovers. The main reason we moved to Todos Santos was because we wanted to spend most of our time outside. I was drawn to the fact that it was close to the mountains, it was close to the beach. I'd read that there was a ton of hiking to do. And a month seemed like a good amount of time to get to know it and see if we liked it. Really, we were living by the seat of our pants, and by luck or by judgment, mostly by luck, I would say, we have ended up in a place where we get to spend pretty much all of our time outside. We work out on the patio most days. As you saw in the apartment tour video, we basically live with all the doors and windows open. On the weekends we go hiking. During the week when we want to go to the grocery store or just to get out and see the beach and stuff, we ride our bikes. We are literally only inside with the doors closed when we sleep. So it's been exactly what we were looking for and such a nice start to the year in that sense. I was a little nervous, like I said at the start of this video, when we first got here because it did suddenly seem like a super small town. I was worried if there was going to be enough to do without a car to get around and get on the hikes and go to the beach, and if there were going to be any places for us to go out to eat and stuff. Was a month going to be too long? Were we going to feel like we were, stuck in this little town? But that has absolutely not been the case. There's a lot of good about this little town. The food scene is insane for such a small town. There's aguachile at Tiki Santo Bar and the fish tacos at Santo Chilote. Seriously, that fish crunch and the shrimp al pastor, oh, truly, it will be our last meal before we leave next week. There are high-end restaurants by the beach, street tacos, great cafes like where I've been working at 1240 or La Esquina, where you can get really good coffee. There are craft beer spots doing their own beers. There's sushi places and Italian restaurants. And at the same time, there are tortillerias making their own fresh harina tortillas. Ooh, also delicious. The food here is just a huge pull to stay, and it's something that I think if you lived here long term, you could really appreciate. The cost of living here is also much lower than I initially thought it was going to be. With at every place, obviously rent being your biggest outlay. We've been able to shop super local. We've been able to go to the carniceria and the fruit and veg stalls, and there's fishmongers who sell shrimp out of the back of their trucks and stuff. It's far more affordable than I initially thought. I did a cost of living video a couple weeks ago that I'll link up here if you haven't already checked that out. As long as you want to be living locally and cooking in, even eating out is not terribly expensive. You can definitely still do it on a smaller budget. That's definitely been a positive of this experience, a surprise positive of this experience for sure. Another thing that I've really loved about living here is that people are so nice. I always feel like I don't mean it like it's a surprise, like people are so nice, but when you live in a big city, you sort of just get used to not saying hello to your neighbors and, not saying hello to people in the street or going for walks and being ignored or going to restaurants and getting quite terse customer service. And it's not that people are mean, it's just that there are so many people in a big city that you can't be like super over the top friendly to every single person. And that's just the way that it is. So when you come to a place like Todos Santos, it's so nice to go on a hike and everyone says hello. You ride your bike down the street and like everybody waves out of their car. Like people are just so friendly, obviously at restaurants because the traffic is much slower and smaller than in a bigger city like Mexico City. People are just so nice. People have gone out of their way to help us here, and especially since we don't have a car, some people have been like crazy nice to help us get to different parts, and people really want to show you all there is to see in this area, this region, and everyone's always got a tip. Oh, you have to eat here, you have to go here, and it's been so nice. So yeah, that's been a huge bonus to living here. People have been so friendly. When people told us that we could see whales on this beach, I thought it was like, you know, when you go on a whale watching boat and they tell you might see whales. Like, it is impossible not to see whales on this beach. There are so many of them. It's so incredible. One just sort of floated past us, puffing up some water. And then, like, just over here, there are tons just spouting up all the time. There are so many whales right in this bay. It's so close to the shore. It's so fascinating. It's so, so cool. And totally free. Who doesn't love that? And of course, the hiking. The great outdoors are everywhere here, and it's been so nice to get out on all of these local trails. I know there are so many more to explore as we head to different parts of the peninsula. We have a huge and ever-growing list of all these trails and mountains and ranches that we need to visit in the next couple of months, but having them right at our doorstep where we can ride our bikes to the start of the trails has just been so incredible. Oh, this road to the beach is so great. It's like so sheltered, and on the way to the beach, it's sort of like on a downslope. So it feels nice and easy. You can pretty much free roll all the way to the beach. Just don't use all your energy because you gotta ride back up to get out. There's cold beer waiting at the top of the hill. There's cold beer waiting at the top of the hill. That's what's getting me up. Just get me up here. We are well and truly in car country. And I know that's not a big deal for a lot of people. You probably live somewhere now where you use a car, but I haven't owned a car since 2011. So for me, having a car and needing a car to get around is really not on my radar. And Todos Santos is a place where pretty much everyone has a car. I've seen 2 taxis the whole time we've been here. And the bus that goes between the towns is like a coach bus. So it goes sometimes once an hour, sometimes once every 2 hours. It's not like you can just like flag the bus down and get on and off where you want. So it's definitely been something to deal with since we've been here. Obviously we got bikes, and the bikes have been great for getting around town. They've been great for getting into town, into the beach. But Todos Santos is hilly. So that's been a learning curve. And you know, our bikes are secondhand, maybe fifth-hand bikes that are not in the best condition. And, you know, they're not for like long bike rides. They're not mountain bikes. They're not even really great road bikes. They've been great for getting around the town, but that's pretty much it. So for me, long term, living here in Todos Santos is not really high on my priority list because I don't want to have a car. And I've been to a lot of other parts of Mexico, obviously living in Mexico City, but also beach towns like Puerto Vallarta, like Mazatlan, beaches down in Puerto Escondido, and even in the Yucatan. They're so well connected by colectivos or buses or taxis or Uber that you don't need a car or even walking distance, you know, staying in the town, walking to the beach. It's just not an option here. None of those things are options here. So long-term living here you'll need a car, and it's something that you want to know about before getting here. So that's a heads up for you. It's beautiful here. There's no denying it, and I have zero regrets about coming here. I'm so glad we got the chance to spend a month here. I'm grateful for the month of outdoor living and good tacos and good people and stunning views and all those whales. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm still learning, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to make them as helpful and entertaining as possible. I'm listening to your feedback and hopefully improving the videos because of it. So I'm so grateful and so appreciative of your sticking around and giving me your feedback. So yeah, this is my final Todos Santos video. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed living here with us for a month. And I'm excited to start showing you some more of Baja California Sur, taking you on a few more adventures and seeing what we get up to in the next few weeks. If you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel. And thank you as always for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.